The following program is paid for by Trevor Reverse Mortgage.
Welcome to Let's Talk Reverse, brought to you by Trevor Reverse Mortgage. We help you turn your home equity into financial freedom and peace of mind. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'd like to introduce you to Bob Wommack, founder of Trevor Reverse Mortgage. He's been in the mortgage business for over 25 years. Bob started Trevor so he could ensure that each client was given personalized service and helped through the reverse mortgage process from start to finish. The goal of Bob and his team is to help you make an informed decision on whether reverse mortgage is right for you.
Well, good morning. Let's Talk Reverse is on. So today we're going to kind of do things a little different than some of our other shows. I'm going to talk to you today about, in this first part, about the differences in the companies that you choose to do and handle your reverse mortgage. My company, Trevor, which I founded 9 years ago, really is a company that's, well, it's very personal. We try to see, and most of the time we see every one of our clients face-to-face in the beginning. I have loan officers throughout the state of Texas, and we also have California as our two states that Trevor is licensed in. The issue that we deal with a lot is what is the difference between us, Trevor, and another company. A lot of companies do only FedEx and mail out your information. Obviously, it works for them. However, that's not the way we formatted Trevor. We do a lot of one-on-ones with our borrowers in their homes to make sure they understand the reverse mortgage. And what that usually brings into play is after the loan is completed, we continue to have conversations, and we also have a lot of phone calls that I receive from past clients when things do come up. And it's just comforting the way we built the company that, well, we're more of a family there that can answer your questions, because as time goes on, there is going to be questions about your reverse mortgage, especially in today's times when you get so much direct mail. And probably, I would say 90% of it, it's really not pertaining to you, but they make it sound like it's pertaining to you. So what we try to do at Trevor is to give a lifetime of benefit when we do a loan for you, which is different than a lot of the other lenders. My staff and my loan officers, which I have 23 in the state of Texas, they are very educated. Most of my senior loan officers are they're just very experienced. I would say that the average length of time that I hire and bring in a reverse person is probably a minimum of 5 years of experience before they come to us. So as you look at our website, you can see that we have quite a few that are already seniors. I would say that probably 90% of my loan officers are all seniors over 65. Along those lines, I would like to say that we are trying to expand our sales force, and my number direct to talk to me about opportunities as a loan officer with our company. We are very unique, the company, and I'd like to be able to talk to you if you have interest, as my number is 713-515-7856. You can reach me anytime. That's my cell phone, and I do work around the clock, so to speak. I do take calls even in the evening, so just feel free to give me a call. What we created with Trevor, and I created, was a sales force that is probably, I can't really go into too much detail other than the fact that we do compensate our loan officers probably better than anybody in the country. So we look for quality, we look for honesty, and we look for people with integrity. And that's what Trevor is built on. I've always said this, we tell the truth, and we try to eliminate the cost of a reverse mortgage every time we can. We can do that because, well, I'm the owner, and when I talk to you about the differences between us and some of the big companies, is that we do look at cost savings for every senior to give them the best possible outcome for their reverse. And also, remember, every dollar I save you goes in your pocket. And that's what the intent is that Trevor was built on. So I'm talking a little bit about the companies that are involved. Companies, we have all the major lenders that are available today for reverse mortgages. By that I mean we have agreements with all the name brand companies that you see advertised today. But we just are a broker, which means we pick and choose a company that more fits your issues. Are there differences between the companies? Yes, there are. There's different, what we call in the business, overlays. Overlays are, well, it's what companies, additional things that they require or they ask of the senior that really aren't part of the FHA insured mortgage part or the non-FHA reverse mortgage, which we also do quite a few of today. So companies that have different guidelines, sometimes we go to a company that's going to fit more what the senior needs, not what the company is requiring. So that's one of the reasons that we have multiple companies. There are different guidelines for a lot of these companies that have nothing to do with the FHA, but has to do with their own internal, the way that they market the loan and the way they sell the loan. We don't sell the loan. We broker the loan to the company that's best suited to your situation. Again, my number to reach me for any of that information, or if you have interest in joining Trevor and finding out what we do and how we pay and how we operate, please give me a call. It's 713-515-7856. We are looking for about 2 or 3 to add to our loan officer crew. So our people are very active and they're very responsive. We try to give you the best opportunity on your reverse, and every reverse is different, and every reverse really feels a need that's always different. That's one thing I like about our end of the business. For years, I did what we call in the industry forward loans or regular loans. And when I was younger, I did quite a few of those. I don't know, probably over the period of 26 years, probably did, 2,000 or better of regular loans. And I will tell you, it's a different type of relationship after you've done a loan on a forward loan. It's totally different than a reverse because reverse is something that, well, first of all, it follows the senior in that same house, and there's a lot of opportunity that you're going to might need some questions answered in the future where you don't on a forward type mortgage. So, for instance, I got a call, last week. In fact, it was one of my clients that I had done a reverse for in 2017. And she was calling me because she had some roof damage, hail. Some part of Texas, I think it was up around Dallas area. And so she said, well, what am I going to do? So I have a lot of contacts in the repair industry. So I got her 2 or 3 names for roofers in her area that I have used before and had great success with. And I said, well, here's what you do. You call them, they'll come out and do an inspection. She says, okay. Then what happens? I said, well, your insurance company is going to have an inspector also that will come out and inspect the roof. Okay, then what do? I said, well, what you do then is that they're going to tell you that the insurance company is going to say, yes, you do have damage, and you start negotiating for the repair. Well, how do I do that? And I said, well, that's why your roofer is going to be important for you, because they do this every day. So you get the roofer together with the adjuster, and you work out a price that you feel is going to, and they feel is going to repair your roof. And then you always need to look at your insurance policy, because your insurance policy will have a deductible. She says, well, I've already looked at that. And I said, well, what's your deductible? They're different for different type of insurances. It's 2%. I said, all right. So the bid on her house, and I was a little surprised, was somewhere in the neighborhood of $27,000. Well, that's quite they're replacing the whole roof for her. So you're going to end up having to pay the 2%, and then the insurance company will pay the difference to your roofer. Well, what happens then? I said, well, the check's going to come out in the lender's name, who's got your mortgage, which might be FHA, and FHA and you will be on the check, and you will let me know, and I will work it with your servicer, and then we'll get your check endorsed, and then the roofer gets paid. So that's just one thing that we did last week. This loan is, it's 8 years old. So it's important who you do your reverse with. I really do believe that. So once again, it's good to visit with you today. We're going to get started again in a few moments. So we're going to take a break.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a quick break. Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Reverse. We'll be right back after these messages.
First steps down this hallway. Birthday candles in the kitchen. Every memory built real value inside these walls. Now that value can work for you. Bob Wommack, founder of Trevor Reverse Mortgage, has worked for over 25 years, helping Texas homeowners 62 and older unlock their equity without a monthly mortgage payment, pay off debt, cover medical bills, travel with the grandkids. It's your choice, and you never give up the deed. See your personalized estimate in minutes at TrevorReverse.com. TREBOR, TrevorReverse.com. Everything you need to know in plain language right there. That's TrevorReverse.com. Because it's your equity, your life, and your next chapter starts online.
Borrower 62 plus only. Must maintain property, taxes, insurance, and any HOA dues. Loan due and home is sold or no longer primary residence. Trevor Reverse Mortgage LLC. NMLS number 1524299. Licensed in Texas and California. TrevorReverse.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Let's Talk Reverse, brought to you by Trevor Reverse Mortgage with owner Bob Wommack. Trevor is always looking for experienced loan originators to add to the team, so if you're looking for a new opportunity and have experience with reverse mortgages, please give Bob a call. Be sure to check out the website, TrevorReverse.com. That's TREB as in boy, OR reverse.com. You can also call 1-800-774-2186, or if you'd like to speak to Bob directly, call 713-515-7856. Again, that's 713-515-7856.
Well, welcome back to Let's Talk Reverse. Well, in this segment, we're going to visit with you a little bit about what we do to get your loan started for you. Number one, if you do any reverse mortgage, whether it's a FHA insured mortgage or a non-FHA, counseling is required. Now, this counseling is not like a test, but it is a requirement. Okay, the government has it that we have to go to a third party, which we give you a list of people that do this for the government and for the lenders for the counseling. This is done by telephone, It usually takes about 30 to 45 minutes for the counseling. We supply you with all the documents that you're going to need during that counseling session, and we also, once you select the counseling agency, we send them the exact documents that pertain to you and your situation to them. Once counseling is done, then it comes back to us, and then we will order a FHA or non-FHA appraisal. Now, you don't have anything to do with that. We take care of that. The appraisers all will call you directly to set up a time that's convenient for you and your family so that, we try to get it done as quickly as possible, because once we have the appraisal in the meantime, we've already done an application with you, and it's usually done in person, okay? Remember I said that we really like to sit across the table from our seniors? To me, it's the golden time that we have to really try to give you a reverse that's going to take care of what you're trying to accomplish. Everybody has a different reason for doing a reverse, obviously. Now, some of them is just to pay off their existing mortgage so they don't have a mortgage payment. Some of them that don't have a mortgage payment want to create some capital that they can use to spend for, enhancements to the property. Maybe you want to add that special wooden floors and maybe redo the bathrooms, kitchens. You can use that money for that. So there's many reasons why seniors do a reverse mortgage. And I have had some that say, one of the grandkids is off to college and they need a little help and mom and dad can't help them. Well, it's nice that you have the time and you want to do that. So you might be giving them some help during their college years. So you can use that also to create some money from your normal budget. So reverse can be used different ways. But once we get the application, once we get the appraisal done, then we submit it to the lender that best suits your need or your type of reverse that you're trying to accomplish. We do all that work. We process all the paperwork here in our offices. It doesn't go to an outside source. Everything that you do with us is certainly secured so that nobody else can see it, touch it, feel it, or steal it. So we do all the processing. Once the processing is completed and we give it to the lender, we work to get to what we call the final, which is the clear to close. The clear to close just means to you and me that we've done everything we need to get your loan ready to fund. Then we go to get the clear to close. 95% of our loans are closed in your home. The title company comes to you. They give you a nice packet of what you've signed for your records, and you can certainly keep those. And at that point in time, the government says we have to have a 3-day waiting period, and then the money is funded. However you are taking the money goes direct to your bank account electronically, and it's available to you the same day you get it. So that's how that process works. Then, to show that, what happens after that? I have a reverse. Every month you're going to get a statement from the servicer, and that statement tells you everything you need to know. It's going to tell you what is your credit line growth rate is for that month, how much interest was added to your credit line, if that's one of your ways that you're saving your money. And it also will always show you what you owe on the property. You get those every month as long as you have a reverse. Once again, the ball is in your court. What do I mean by that? Well, number one, you can sell the property anytime you want. Okay? The property is always in your name. It just means that the lender has a lien on it for the monies that you have taken or what we needed to pay off your mortgage. So at any time, you always know where you are. However, because the way that my company is set up, I do get a lot of phone calls when they get statements in to kind of go over it with them to make sure that they understand it. So that's a service that we provide for the lifetime of the loan. And we certainly do get quite a few calls. As I've said to you before, I've done this for, 25 plus years. So I have hundreds and hundreds of borrowers in the state of Texas that we do business with on a regular basis, and we certainly answer questions. And the questions do come up, and we're able to certainly give you the guidance and give you the answers you need. Got to remember, reverse mortgage is a ongoing loan that never has a due date or an ending date. It's no time limit. You know, when you do a regular loan, when you first bought your home, 30 years ago, you had a 30-year mortgage. Okay. Well, that mortgage could be sold 3-4 times. Very confusing. Okay. Your loan officer, he probably, in some cases, never met you. In fact, you probably can't even remember his name. We don't operate that way. We have a relationship with you from day one, and we continue that relationship until you decide to either sell the property or, in some cases, we celebrate you going home. So it is a loan that kind of goes on until you decide you want to stop it. Can you sell your property at any time? Sure you can. Okay, just like if it was a regular mortgage, you have a payoff. You can sell it, and maybe you're going to finally move to that small home on the lake. Well, if you're going to do that, then let us help you buy the next property after you sold the one that you had the reverse. Yes, you can do a reverse when you're purchasing a property. So it is a loan that you can certainly use, whether you sell and move to another property, and we certainly do quite a few of those loans. One thing that I will tell you about the senior groups that I'm around with, and because I am a senior, in fact, I'm fortunate. I've got a birthday. I'll be 80. And I still keep working every day, and I enjoy it because every day is a different day. So that's the nice thing about reverse. It is we have new situations that come up that we can begin to help our seniors even after they have a reverse with us. So reverse is a way of a financial tool for seniors to go in and out of their reverse at any time by using their line of credit, or also they can do it when they sell the home and they decide to move to a different property. We help them reduce the cost of going into the new home. Also, cash is king today. And as a senior, you certainly know that, but we try to help you get into a situation that, one, creates no debt on you for the future, and also gives you the ample amount of money for an emergency that comes up. In the first segment, I told you about the lady that had the roof damage. Remember? Well, she says, what would you recommend, Bob? And I said, I tell you what I would do. I would take from my line of credit that's sitting there, get the money, and then it's not coming out of your regular income that you're receiving every month or the savings accounts you have. Use that line of credit because it's growing every day for you. And that's what it's there for that emergency. So that's what she did. And she got the money from her line of credit that had been growing for the last 8 years. And she didn't miss a beat. And the insurance company pays the difference, and she's got a brand new roof. Everybody is happy. So there's a lot of things that we do from a company point of view that you can't get from a lot of companies, because there's so many things that we do to save you the money on your loan. And we also are there to help you when issues do come up. So think of us that way. We do a continual service to our borrower, even though it may be 7, 8, 10 years ago that we actually did the initial reverse mortgage. Again, my number, direct, call me direct, 713-515-7856. There's nothing you can ask me that I can't figure out for you and get done. So once again, we're going to take a small break. We'll be right back with you to Let's Talk Reverse.
All right, we're going to take a short break. Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Reverse. We'll be right back after these messages.
You have paid into this house for decades. Now let it start paying you. A Trevor Reverse Mortgage lets Texans 62 and older convert home equity into tax-free cash while you keep the keys. Explore how much is waiting inside your walls right now at TrevorReverse.com. Trevor, T-R-E-V-O-R, TrevorReverse.com.
Borrower 62 plus only. Must maintain property, taxes, insurance, and any HOA dues. Loan due and home is sold or no longer primary residence. Trevor Reverse Mortgage, LLC. NMLS number 1524299. License in Texas and California. TrevorReverse.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Let's Talk Reverse, brought to you by Trevor Reverse Mortgage with owner Bob Wommack.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Reverse. Well, I said today we're going to kind of do a different format, and really, because reverse is unique, I got to tell you about a loan that I'm doing right now. I'm having to do this loan with the loan officer because it's, after you hear it, it's going to be a little complicated. Okay, here's the situation. I got a phone call from 2 heirs from a family that had a total of 5 siblings. Well, 2 of the kids moved in with Dad when he became ill about a year ago, and they kind of nursed him until, unfortunately, a month ago, he passed away. So here we go. The dad had a will. Well, that was good. However, the will wasn't probated. That's not so good. So what he did was he gave all 5 of his kids equal shares of his estate, which involved the house. Okay. Following with me? So we have 5 kids that inherited Dad's house. This loan was actually in Grapevine, Texas. Now, we kind of know that's a small town, but it is gotten pretty big over the last 10 years. So when Dad passed away, he gave his will and got 5. 3 of them want to sell the home. Okay. I do get involved with family matters every now and then, unfortunately. I just listen. So 3 of them wanted to sell the house. 2 of them because one of them was 70 and the other one was 65, and they had lived there for a year. They were both retired now, and they wanted to buy the other siblings out of the property. Okay, so they negotiated a price. So they called me and said, can we do this? And I said, well, it's a little complicated, but yeah, I guess we can work through it. So what I got the agreement was, finally, we're letting the 2 siblings that are living in the home do a reverse mortgage on the home, and because there are heirs of the property, it's not like a purchase, it's like a refinance because they are owners of the property based off of the will. So the three who wanted to sell agreed on an amount that they were willing to sign off to get their share of the house. So I got that handled with the title company. We put that in a title format to where they have a lien on the property. And we're going forward with the two that want to live in the home. It happens to be actually a brother, a male and a female, but they're not married, but they want to keep the house. So I'm doing the reverse on the two that want to buy out the other three. Now, that's a very complicated loan, okay? Now, I was able to get that negotiated through, and we're working on doing the appraisal on the property, and it looks like we're going to be able to close this loan in the month of September. And what that's going to do is it's going to satisfy the three that wanted the money. When it comes to money and family, it separates a lot of us, unfortunately. But the two that wanted and been there to service and be with their father until he passed away are going to now be able to live in that home for as long as they want to. It's written on both of them, so if something were to happen in the future years, it does not affect the other one. So that's just one of the ways that we're able to do what I call more difficult type loans. You know, in the state of Texas, having a will is the first step. Believe me when I tell you that the will starts the ball rolling. If it does go to probate, it does cause, when you have siblings, other issues that we have to work through. But we're able to do that because that's what we do. And we've done it for over 25 years. So it's a little more involved, but knowing how to do it is really the way that we're able to finish these loans like this and make everyone happy. So when we go to closing on that particular loan, the title company will be writing checks to the three that wanted their funds out, and my seniors that are going to be living in the home have that lifetime guarantee that FHA gives them that they can live in the property. They're going to be responsible, however, for the taxes and the insurance going forward, but other than that, that's it. So happy ending to a situation that, you know, does come up from time to time when you have siblings and we're talking about real property or we're talking about homes that the parents do leave to the children. It would be just as easy for the three to sell the property, put a sign in the yard and the realtor signs it, but the two that were living there just wanted to secure their own future. So everybody wins in this situation. But that's one of the things that we do on a daily basis at Trevor. We're able to do it because we've done them in the past. And we really do clear up a lot of issues with titles that way. So it makes it easy for the senior going forward that's living in the home. So these two that do now own the property, the other three do not own the property because they have been paid their share, and everybody walks away smiling instead of gnashing their teeth. And you know how families are. Sometimes we don't always get along. However, in this case, it's a happy ending. So as we talk about that particular loan, I will say to you that appraisals on property today, that's a subjective, how can I say it? We have an appraiser that goes out and they get the comps in the area. It's not an exact science. So sometimes we get appraisals in that I don't think really are done properly. What we do at Trevor, because we do so many of these and we do these loans, I will go back to the appraisal group that ordered the appraisal, and I will dispute the appraisal on my borrower's behalf. What we have to do on that is give comps that we're able to do to get a better value than what was actually given by the original appraisal. Does that work? Yes, it can. In some cases, we're able to redo the appraisal and get additional value based off of the facts that we present to the appraisal companies. So we fight for you on that area. However, I will say this to you. In the state of Texas, there are pockets of homes in our areas that we service all over the state of Texas that the values on their homes have gone up substantially over the last 5 or 6 years. Let me give you a case in point. I had a loan that I had done, 5 years ago, and the appraised value on this property was $480,000. I remember that property because it was about 4 acres, and it was just north of Houston, and 99, one of the highways that went through, came through about a mile away from her house during that time. Okay. Well, that property value went sky high because, it just became more valuable because it was more convenient to Houston area. It was close to the road that was built. So I went to her and said, let's look at a new appraisal on this property because it's gone up in value. So I did convince her to look at it. I just got the appraisal in 2 weeks ago. The appraised value of her home, because of where it was, went up to $875,000, only because of where the house is. Now, I will tell you that there's parts of Texas that the value of the homes go up maybe 2% a year, and there's some parts of Texas that we do loans in that I'm aware of, they go up 7 to 10% a year. So if we did a reverse 5 years ago on that property, and it appraised for $480, and now it appraises for $860, actually it was $875, and we did a refinance on that property, what it did for her, and we're 5 years down the road, and she's now not 78 years old, she's 83 years old, she picked up another $200,000 that went directly into her line of credit. So if you have a reverse, there's always an opportunity for you to look at some of that, because sometimes it's just where your home was when we did the original and what has changed in your area. There's some parts of Texas, I will tell you, that only do go up 2% a year, okay? But 2% a year, 7, 8 years, and now you are older. As we go into our next segment, we'll clear that up a little bit for you. We'll be right back, and we'll finish the rest of this story in a moment.
Okay, folks, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, Bob will be sharing some stories from some recent clients about their reverse mortgage experience. You're going to want to stick around for this. Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Reverse. We'll be right back after these messages.
First steps down this hallway. Birthday candles in the kitchen. Every memory built real value inside these walls. Now that value can work for you. Bob Wommack, founder of Trevor Reverse Mortgage, has worked for over 25 years, helping Texas homeowners 62 and older unlock their equity without a monthly mortgage payment, pay off debt, cover medical bills, travel with the grandkids. It's your choice, and you never give up the deed. See your personalized estimate in minutes at trevorreverse.com. TREBOR, trevorreverse.com. Everything you need to know in plain language right there. That's trevorreverse.com. Because it's your equity, your life, and your next chapter starts online.
Borrower 62 plus only. Must maintain property, taxes, insurance, and any HOA dues. Loan due and home is sold or no longer primary residence. Trevor Reverse Mortgage, LLC. NMLS number 1524299. License in Texas and California. TrevorReverse.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Let's Talk Reverse, brought to you by Trevor Reverse Mortgage with owner Bob Wommack.
Well, welcome back to Let's Talk Reverse. Well, I left you with, in the last segment, I want to finish that up a little bit. On the appraised value of property, you can take advantage of that when you have a reverse already in place to enhance your line of credit. There's a couple of things that happen. One, you're getting the new interest rate, which could be lower than your old interest rate on your loan that you have. You're going to increase your line of credit for the future so that if something comes up, it's just a good business decision. And that's what we try to do at Trevor, is to make you aware of what you can do. And like I say, once you have a reverse mortgage, then take advantage of when your property does go up in value and you get older. Because you remember, reverse is only calculated on two things: the age that you do it, or when you refinance it, if you're older, and the appraised value of your property. So if you are already in a reverse and it's 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, well, that home that appraised for $275,000, it may appraise for $400,000 today, and you have a line of credit. We want to enhance the line of credit, increase it for the future, and that's what we do when you already have a reverse mortgage. So, in my 25 years of doing this loan, 25 years, I tried to figure out the other day how many loans that I've done. Unfortunately, in the early years, I didn't keep numbers, but I've estimated that I've done over 2,200 of these personally. I have overseen another 3,000 that my company has done or I have helped loan officers do in the past. So it is an ongoing learning education for me. And as time goes on, reverse gets better for the borrower. So one of the things that I have a question that comes to me, occasionally every month is, Bob, I'm 68 years old. I'm still working. Well, I said, well, that's good. So am I. Are you going to retire? I don't know if I'm going to retire. When's the best time for me to do a reverse? Well, let's take a look at it. Do you realize that if you took a reverse now and you took actually no money up front, none, zero, I don't need the money, I'm still working, we put it all in the line of credit, all of the money that we qualified for. Well, let's go out 10 years. You're 78. You're not even my age yet. 78. So what would be in my line of credit? Well, the line of credit today is growing somewhere between 6% and 7.5%, tax-free. So that would mean if you had $100,000 in your line of credit that you didn't need, but you went ahead and did it, that what would that line of credit be in 10 years? Well, I can show you. It's there, black and white. it's going to be worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $220,000 for the same 100. And guess what? There's no tax on that gain. You go to your banker and you put that money in a CD, $100,000, and if it makes 5% a year, well, and you're still working, you're going to pay what? Income tax on what? The interest. So if you're in a 20% tax bracket, you automatically lost some of that interest gain that you're going to pay tax on. So the line of credit is there for you to use in the future when you do decide to retire or when those emergencies come up. You know, to me, when is the best time to do a reverse mortgage? I don't know, but what we like to do with you is let's plan at your age now, if you did a reverse, what it would be worth to you years down the road when you might need that additional capital. So once again, call me on these things. That's what we do every day. It's what I do every day. Just call Bob. It's 713-515-7856. We do a lot of planning, and that's what reverse is all about. The difference between Trevor and the online companies that want to do it by FedEx or by, I don't know how they do it other than regular mail. That's not the way you should do a reverse, in my opinion. Get the facts, get somebody on your side that's going to be there to watch your loan and give you good advice as years go on. And when you do have those emergencies, and believe me, just because you get older, you do have the emergencies. And we all know that. And the other thing that I'm a big proponent on, and I try to get my seniors to kind of give some advice to from time to time, is get out of debt. Don't owe anybody. Pay and get out of debt. Because a lot of us are still living on Social Security and a pension, and the pension and Social Security only goes so far, and the cost of living in this world today continually goes up, which we all know. So grow your line of credit and your income on the side that you can use at a later date with no tax due on that. Anything that you draw out on a reverse mortgage as time goes on is non-taxable. The government has given us a pathway. Use it. Use it to your benefit. The smarter we are as we get older is how we're going to live our golden years and enjoy our life. So, reverse, when's the best time to do it? I would look at it from the time I was 62 until I was getting close to retirement age. Obviously, if you're older, you're going to get more money. It's just a fact. And it's very fair. At 80, I'm going to get more than you are at 68. Why? Well, the truth is, the government knows I'm probably going to die before you. I mean, that's just life. Can't get out of this life alive. But what I'm also telling you is get out of debt. One thing about the non-FHA reverse that I do like is it allows me to go into your debt structure at the time you do the loan, and I can pay off all of your debt with the proceeds of a reverse mortgage. In other words, get rid of your credit cards. Get rid of that car payment. Get rid of those installments. Then all the money that you have coming in from your retirement and your Social Security is 100% dollars. Use the reverse for your financial gain. So I'm not preaching to you. I'm just telling you that's what we do every day. Can't do that on the FedEx. You have to do it where we work together to get a program going that's going to help you for the future. So I'm going to stop with that and quit preaching and say this. As I have a loan that I keep telling you about, loans that I get involved in. I'm doing my oldest loan today I've ever done in reverse. And now I'm doing the loan personally, only because it's a little bit more technical. 102 years old. Wife is 95. They still live in their home, and they have a lot of issues about having home health, and they have people that come to the home every day, cook their food, make sure they take their medicine, and I'm doing the reverse for them. Well, at 102 and their property is worth approximately $800,000, they're going to walk away with about $600,000. So to protect the heirs, I've created a plan that I know that they need about $6,000 a month for the health people that come in and do that service for them. So we're going to do a small draw to begin with to get it started for the first quarter, which is $18,000. And then I'm going to create a draw of $6,000 a month, every month coming to them in their checking account. Now, one of the sons is managing the finances for the family, so that money will be put into that joint account, and he'll be paying. What did I do? They didn't take all the cash because I'm trying to conserve the equity. 102 and 95. Would you say they've run the string? We don't know how long it's going to last, but I want them to be comfortable in the meantime and also protect the senior. So once again, we can help you. Just remember, let's talk reverse. Call Bob, 713-515-7856. See you next week.
All right, folks, that's our show for today. I want to thank you again for listening to Let's Talk Reverse, brought to you by Trevor Reverse Mortgage. You've been listening to Bob Wommack. Trevor is always looking for experienced loan originators to add to the team, so if you're looking for a new opportunity and have experience with reverse mortgages, please give Bob a call. I hope you learned a lot today. Please be sure to tune in next week and let's keep the conversation going. Don't forget to check out the website, trevorreverse.com. That's TREB as in boy, OR reverse.com. You can also call 1-800-774-2186, or if you want to talk to Bob directly, please call 713-515-7856. Again, that's 713-515-7856. And see if Bob can help you turn your home equity into financial freedom and peace of mind.
First steps down this hallway. Birthday candles in the kitchen. Every memory built real value inside these walls. Now that value can work for you. Bob Wommack, founder of Trevor Reverse Mortgage, has worked for over 25 years, helping Texas homeowners 62 and older unlock their equity without a monthly mortgage payment, pay off debt, cover medical bills, travel with the grandkids. It's your choice, and you never give up the deed. See your personalized estimate in minutes at trevorreverse.com. TREBOR, trevorreverse.com. Everything you need to know in plain language right there. That's trevorreverse.com. Because it's your equity, your life, and your next chapter starts online.
Borrower 62 plus only. Must maintain property, taxes, insurance, and any HOA dues. Loan due and home is sold or no longer primary residence. Trevor Reverse Mortgage LLC. NMLS number 1524299. Licensed in Texas and California. TrevorReverse.com.